Okay, Robin, I take that back. You came in clutch, like literally clutch. She legitimately pimp smacked Summers and blew his back out. She was on straight back breaking smoke. So, Gaban, about that Haki though. So are we just gonna sit here and pretend like Gaban didn't actually run one of the craziest fades on Summers that I've seen in a long ass time? So clearly the next level of Haki is upon us, and I don't think it's above the level of Advanced Conquerors, but I think it's like a subdivision, like subsection I, almost like something synonymous with Rio. This almost kind of reminds me of the exchange that Tony and Loki had in the first Avengers. We're immortal. We have a Gaban. Y'all really took this man's son and honestly thought he was just gonna pull up and talk? Y'all ain't about that life. Losing your hand was the least he could do for you. But I promise you, after that break next week, we gonna see how everything gonna pop off.
But before we go even deeper,
I'm gonna need y'all to hit that like button and that subscribe button and join the notification gang. Now, usually I come up with some sort of gimmick or whatever to make you guys feel sorry for me enough to sit there and subscribe and survive. But it turns out I'm actually all out of ideas. Ideas. Whichever is grammatically correct. But either way, only like 1.5% of you guys who actually watch my videos are actually subscribed. And you know, the rest of you guys just come in here lurking. So yeah, let's not have any more of that. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and tap that notification, because a lot of people don't be getting notified. And at this point, you probably realize I was probably lying. But yeah, well. Ha. So this new Haki that Gaban is showing is enough to sit there and damage the God's Knights. Now, their immortality don't mean nothing in the face of Gaban. As I was saying before, I definitely don't think it's Advanced Conquerors, because when you think of the logistics of it, the Gorosei God's Knights, they're all endgame villains. And we all know that the Revolutionaries, the Strawhats, they're gonna fight God's Knights, they're gonna fight the Gorosei. So what you telling me here? Like, everybody gonna develop Advanced Conquerors enough to be able to damage these dudes? I definitely don't think it's that, but I definitely think it's some sort of subdivision of Haki, to the point where, to tell you the truth, in terms of what it is, I ain't gonna lie to you, I have no idea. But I think it's definitely related to what Joy Boy was able to do, where he was able to actually store his Haki into something and then release it at a later point in time. Almost like in Call of Duty World at War, where you would die and then it'd be like a whole C4 situation. I was one of those guys. Better yet, basically like C4. Imagine putting your Haki into something and then having it just implode on itself. Speculation, of course, but that's just me. Now, in the event that I was definitively wrong, we gonna have a whole bunch of Advanced Conquerors Haki users, and we can't have that. So Gaban hitting us with that new Haki, and for me, I love the way he actually just pulled up, because when we had Rayleigh pull up before the time skip, he wasn't necessarily mad. The only connection he really had to the Strawhats was that he was just gonna coat their shit. They didn't even know he was actually Silver's Rayleigh. But this one, y'all actually took Gaban's son. Now, in the event that Rayleigh had a son and y'all pulled up on him like that, he was gonna run the fade. And the thing is, Gaban is mad as hell. Like, when you think about it, like, if the kid was to bite the bullet, it might not be as bad for him as he thinks. Like, wait. Let me just explain my point. Maybe you might be able to see my dark side view right now. Now, look, we're gonna take morality out of this equation. But you see, clearly, Gaban is the champion of love. Like, he said something like that or whatever. Now, in the event that, you know, his son bites the bullet, forget the boy's name, he could just make another one. Meaning that he gonna have to take a trip into Ripley. what that means is that he gonna have another opportunity to do the sideways boogie with Ripley, where he can show us or demonstrate to us why he is called the Mountain Eater. From the looks that Summers gave, clearly they've met before, and I'm guessing it's probably in God's Valley. This is all speculation, nothing's confirmed, so don't come at me with any of that stuff or whatever. But I'm guessing it was probably God's Valley, where the Roger Pirates definitely had an exchange with God's Knights, where they got enough of a W. Well, to say that they were fully defeated, yeah, who knows? Probably, possibly, probably. It was enough of a W for him to remember Gaban like that. Considering what happened in God's Valley with Kuma, where they were doing the whole blood festival and stuff, I wouldn't be too surprised if what they did then is similar to what they're doing now. If that makes perfect sense. Like, we all on the same page? Because, I mean, it's a very messed up thing to do. I mean, even Nami was sitting there like, man, even the worst of the worst don't be out here kidnapping kids. Now, I don't know about all that. Like, I mean, Doflamingo, I mean, dude was kind of messed up. Dude unalived his pops. He was just the master manipulator at this point. At this point, when you look at the backstories of all the villains, you kind of sit there and think, out of everybody here, who's done worse? Like, you can't even really tell at this point. But that's just me. Honestly, after this break, they probably gonna sit there and give us a little flashback about what happened between Summers and Gaban, and we finally gonna see what may or may not have happened in God's Valley. This gonna be entertaining. 2 weeks! Sorry. So the Holy Knights don't even want the Giants to just fight for the world government. They actually want to just eliminate their whole existence. Culture, history. Basically, if you smell, eat, sleep Giant, they packing you up. They want it gone. I think as of right now, the Monster Trio are definitely going to miss this exchange, because I think the focus is really on the weaker Straw Hats to understand that they may not be able to exhibit or show the power that they need to be able to overcome the current enemy. Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji, I mean, and Jinbei, of course, I mean, we can't forget about him. I know he Monster Trio and whatnot, but you know, as of right now, he not demonstrating Monster Trio qualities. Just saying. Because even though Robin's fighting Summers, she was smart with it in the beginning, because I sat there and thought last chapter, okay, you pulling up on him and whatnot, which is fine, but like, we fully know very well that Jinbei wasn't even able to take these dudes out and whatnot. He's sitting there tied up like a groupie. So, like, I mean, Robin, you cool and all, but what chance you got? Now, before you decide to blow my back out and whatnot, which don't really sound too bad. No, okay, I'm just kidding. I was just playing. That was a joke. Like, you know, sometimes you want to risk it all just for a joke, but you don't want to risk it all, because when you lose it, you lose it. She was mad smart and very calculated when she pulled up in this fight. The Robin that was fighting was a clone, so I definitely enjoyed seeing that. And the thing is, she gave no chance for this guy to even just recover. She was just like, back break, back break, back break, back break, back break. I'm surprised she didn't grab his cherries. I mean, look, you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Like, all's fair in love and war. Not even sure if that even applies here, but it sounded like it did. The God's Knights are coming in hot, and I'm genuinely curious to see how this actually plays out. What I do find interesting is that I do wonder how Gaban is going to be written in this narrative, because clearly he has a level of Haki that the Straw Hats don't have yet, and I don't necessarily think it's stronger in power. I think it just affects you a little different. It's more strategic than just straight brute force, which I like a lot, because it's not just a matter of just like, oh, I gotta, like, you know, get stronger and then I'm just gonna win. It's more like you gotta be a little bit more calculated and more strategic in order to win. I don't know, at this point, he might just pull a Marco and just have him step to the side and be like, hey, you new gen, y'all got it. That's just me. Either way, what did you think of this chapter? Did you like this chapter? Did you not like this chapter? Where do you think the story's going next? We do have a break next week. Currently writing a Boruto video, which will drop next week, but I got midterms too, so that should be out for the Monday as usual, regular scheduling and everything. School's going cool and all that, and you know, YouTube's a fun hobby. But yeah, either way, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all later, man. Peace!